National Youth Day event at the Peter Mokaba Cricket Club in Polokwane, Limpopo today. The president is expected to announce new programs to tackle rising unemployment among young South Africans. The youth make up over half of the unemployed in this country. Now, President Ramaphosa is also expected to reflect on what government has done to help the youth over the past 25 years. Let's take you straight to Limpopo now. It's where we find our reporter, Mike Maringa. Mike, very good morning to you once again. What's happening there?
Good morning to you and good morning to our viewers once again. We are still at the cricket club where we are waiting for thousands of youth to come here to listen to the president. You have said it that the government has got new plans for youth in South Africa. I must also indicate that it looks like the plans are well in place. We have seen buses coming. All the people who are coming here are dropped off at a distance of about 500 meters and they are supposed to walk into the venue, and majority of them are learners. And with me here, it's one big learner. This is the MEC for the Department of Sports and Culture, Thandimurak. MEC, I see you are looking nice in your school uniform, but let's talk about government programs in the province. Are you happy with what you have achieved so far?
Thanks very much for having us. As the provincial government of Limpopo, we are more than excited to have achieved all the progress that we have made since the dawn of democracy in 1994. And the aim of our programs as government is to make sure that we put up together programs that are aimed at empowering our young people. Because you know that in terms of our population of the province and that of the country, young people are in majority in those population statistics. So anything that the government is putting together in terms of program of actions, it really needs to reflect with regard to those realities that are on the ground. Young people must be given priority in whatever portfolio of the provincial departments that we have in the province.
But let's talk about substance abuse. We understand these are the challenges that we used to see in the streets of Gauteng. The situation is so bad that it has even reached the villages of the province. Talked about Mopani, Bembe and the likes. As the department, you must be very worried about this growing tendency.
We are worried about the level of alcohol and substance abuse that is mainly affecting our young people who are still at school-going age. You'll of course know that in several schools we do have our learners engaging themselves on issues of nyaupe and other drugs-related ills that are not really going to benefit them with anything. So we are worried about those kind of incidences, and we've put measures in place, of course working together with the Department of Basic Education and the Department of Community Safety to make sure that we root out those elements of alcohol and substance abuse, in particular the utilization of nyaupe by our learners, because once they start being introduced to those kind of ills at an early age, you must therefore understand that their future is not going anywhere. We'll have a future of this province that is really doomed, and that is not what we want to see. We want to encourage our young people to distinguish themselves in the manner in which the generation of 1976 have done, to say we need to identify our generational mission and be able to conduct ourselves in line with the ideas and the mission of that particular generation that they should really identify themselves with.
Talking of the 76 youth, we understand today we are facing different challenges. Unemployment is one of them. Surely in your portfolio, arts and culture, you're supposed to use that as the glue to have the youth together, create some social cohesion. Have you done so? Is it working? And also, are you expecting the young people to come here in their numbers today? Because we understand they are a little bit discouraged.
Remember, the issue of high level of unemployment is so high in the sense that it is worrying us as government. And today, as we speak, as the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, we have said to ourselves, because we do have programs of arts and culture. Through that program, let us make sure that we deliver that particular program in the context that is going to help us to address those high levels of unemployment that are affecting our young people. There is a lot that our young people can do through that particular industry, creative industry. There is a lot that young people can do to benefit economically from that particular program. So we have been involving our artists in our various programs, empowering them and also equipping them with the necessary skills that are necessary for them to continue to make us proud in that particular space. And today we are more than excited because the targeted audience that we are targeting for this year's June 16 celebration is mainly young people who must then come here and listen to the sitting president of the country and the premier outlining the plans of the 6th administration on how they are going to help us to tackle these high levels of unemployment.
But we're talking about 25 years into this new dispensation. Do you think enough has been done? Didn't you have enough opportunity to make sure that all these issues are addressed?
We have achieved a lot. There are a lot of success stories that we can talk about. Today, our young people can be able to access issues of higher education without them really being deprived of those opportunities necessarily because they are from the poor backgrounds. We went and managed to convince the government of today to say, let us make education freely accessible from primary level up to the first degree in the institutions of higher learning. And those are the kind of successes that this government of the ANC has managed to achieve. And there are a lot of other successes, like we do have entrepreneurs who are mainly young people who are being supported and being given the necessary support financially by this very same government. So there is a lot of stories that we can talk, that we can share with our people. Even here today, there would be some exhibition centers that will be involving your National Youth Development Agency that will come in here and share ideas and information with these learners who will be here with regard to issues. If they want to enter into the agricultural space, what is it that will be required from them? If they want to be independent business owners, what is it that will be required from them to access those kind of services that are being put together by the government of today?
It looks like most challenges come immediately after completing the tertiary education, because that's where people are expected to get jobs, to start to get funding for their businesses. And the NYDA was saying the budget that they have here, it's not enough. Do we perhaps expect the president to address this issue in making sure that NYDA is given enough funds to can assist the youth and other structures that are responsible for youth development?
The youth of this country has got confidence in the presidency and the leadership of President Cyril Ramaphosa in general, because you would have seen now when he was putting together his cabinet, majority of those ministers and deputy ministers are mainly young people, and we believe that having young people at the forefront of those positions of leadership and responsibilities is going to help us to get the necessary attention when we speak about issues of youth development. We should not deal with the issue of youth development as a by-the-way issue. It needs to occupy the center stage of the agenda of the 6th administration that was just recently elected by our members of our society. So issues of youth development under President Cyril Ramaphosa, who are more than 110% that they are going to receive the necessary attention they deserve.
And also, we understand that your department is the custodian of this event, and we're expecting about 10,000 people. As we speak now, the marquee is still not full. Are you still hopeful that people will come in their numbers, despite the fact that people are discouraged?
Remember, we are coordinating this program, working together with the Office of the Premier. We have sent out buses to our all local municipalities, and what we have identified now from our administrative team, is that buses are still on their way, and also young people are being dropped at a very long distance. They are still walking and making their way through to the venue itself. So young people will be here in their numbers to listen to their leadership. We should not really worry about the attendance.
And before I let you go, MEC, is there hope for young people in this country?
There is hope in line with what the pronouncement of the sitting leadership of government have already outlined. You heard the president last day when he was delivering the State of the Nation address. He spoke about revitalizing our industrial sites, our industrial parks. Just here in Limpopo, there would be that kind of a program that is implemented in Seshego. And through that program, we are targeting young people who must therefore come in and be immediate beneficiaries beneficiaries of those kind of programs. Just on Tuesday, we met at the level of the provincial government through our executive council meeting. We adopted an agency that we call Limpopo Business Support Agency. And the mandate of that particular agency is to make sure that they support young people with those ideas on how they can help us to address these challenges of unemployment and wherein young people are not included in the mainstream economy. So through that agency, which we call it LIPSA, is going to help us to empower our young people to be entrepreneurs, to also be job creators themselves.
And we understand that in the past, people who were benefiting, it was usually people who are in the urban areas. How will LIPSA ensure that people in the most rural areas are getting this funding?
Remember, Limpopo is a rural province on its own, and if you target urban areas as through that agency, I don't think there will be that element of doing justice to the process of servicing the people of this province in general. So there should be a mechanism that is being put together for our leaders in government to make sure that they will monitor that particular program, to make sure that it reach out to the rural parts of this province, like your Muyeshe, other areas like Mothalezi in this Kukuni area, and here at Pitamokaba, your Mankweng sides. We need to reach out to those rural areas to make sure that we empower our young people economically through that particular agency that is there to support their businesses.
That was Thandi Muraka, the MEC for Sports, Arts and Culture in the province, outlining all the programs that the province have and all the things that they have done as the province to empower young people, indicating that there's a new agency that has been put together to ensure that young people are benefiting. We must also indicate that we might wait a little bit here because people are still filling up the marquee behind us, but we are told that as soon as the president gets here, he'll go via the stalls to check as to what is happening, and we'll be bringing you that live if and when the president gets here. And it's now back to you in the studio.
Okay, Mike, just remind us what time the president is likely to address the crowds there.
Yeah, the president is expected to be here in the next 30 minutes. From there, he'll go to the stalls. It's a walkabout that will take about 15 minutes or so. From that, he will walk straight into this marquee behind us. But we don't expect him to come as yet because there are a lot of people who are still queuing to get in here. It's not only here. I was at the other side where people are being dropped off, and it's a bit of a long walk to here. So they will have to clear that first. As soon as that is cleared, people are settled. Then we'll have the president coming in. We should give him an hour or so for people to settle down so that we can start with the program.
100%. Thank you very much indeed, Mike. Mike Moringa coming to us live from Polokwane in Limpopo.